What if I told you the 5 elders, the supreme leaders of the world government, weren't just politicians, but warriors stronger than the Yonko themselves? And what's even more shocking, their loyalty isn't just political, it's engineered by Imu through a terrifying selection process hidden for centuries. If you thought the Gorosei were mere figureheads, think again, because today we're diving into a truth that will shake the very foundations of One Piece history. Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we're breaking down the shocking truth behind how Imu personally handpicks the Gorosei and why these so-called elders might actually be the most dangerous force in the One Piece world. From the mysterious lineage requirements tied to the Great Kingdom's fall to their devastating strength that could rival or even surpass the Yonko, we're uncovering the hidden blueprint of power that keeps the world government unbreakable. Plus, we'll explore the elite gods' knights, how they connect to the Gorosei, and why Imu's ultimate army might be far deadlier than we ever imagined. How Imu chooses the Gorosei? The primary qualification for selecting a member of the Gorosei is that they be descended from one of the families who banded together against the Great Kingdom. If they have ties to any of those countries, they are unlikely to betray the world government, making them more reliable. Another requirement is that the person be a skilled fighter. All of the Gorosei members are at least Yonko level, and some say that they are considerably higher. Having a weakling with little fighting experience means that they will be unable to defend Imu in times of danger. An experienced fighter would also have an easier time following Imu's directions. All of the Gorosei are usually aged, implying that Imu waits for them to gather enough experience and trust. The gods' knights are promoted to the position of Gorosei. The strongest are carefully picked by Imu. The simplest approach for a person to obtain fighting experience and trust is to join the gods' knights. People who are members of the gods' knights share several characteristics with the Gorosei, such as regeneration and the ability to create circles. J. Garcia Saturn summoned help during the Egghead storyline. Yonko did something similar in the Elbaf storyline, summoning Killingham and Summers. Another indication that the Gorosei were once members of the gods' knights is that Figureland Garling was elected to replace Saturn. Figureland Garling served the Celestial Dragons for decades and was even hailed as their champion. Garling was eventually appointed to the position of Supreme Commander. When Saturn failed to stop Vegapunk's transmission, Imu drained his life force and appointed Garling as the new godhead of science and defense. This incident more or less verifies that members of the gods' knights are promoted to become godheads or Gorosei. How strong are the Gorosei and the gods' knights? The Gorosei and the gods' knights can regenerate. They have overpowered abilities. As previously stated, the Gorosei are at the same level as the Yonko. One could argue that they are stronger than the pirates, and they would not be incorrect. The Gorosei have overpowered devil fruit abilities, allowing them to defeat an entire fleet on their own. Furthermore, all of the Gorosei are presumably capable of employing Conqueror's Haki, and they appear to be quite proficient at doing so. As a side note, this implies that Figureland Garling now has Conqueror's Haki to keep the theme running. When the 5 elders arrived on Egghead Island, there was complete mayhem. Nobody could obtain an advantage over them, which speaks volumes about their abilities. It would be negligent not to emphasize that their primary purpose was to stop the transmission. Therefore, they were not entirely focused on destroying the people on the island. So, it is safe to argue that things would have been far worse if the Gorosei had merely wanted to eliminate all living things. Furthermore, the Straw Hats would not have survived if Emmet had not used Joy Boy's Haki to repel 4 of the Gorosei. The gods' knights are not far removed from the Gorosei. So far, the gods' knights have caused destruction in Elbaf while taking no harm. They, like the Gorosei, have the capacity to rejuvenate and call others, as well as potent devil fruits. With so many powerful subordinates, one can only imagine how Imu must be. Summary and highlights. Imu selects members of the Gorosei based on their ancestry, with families that rebelled against the Great Kingdom. They must be good fighters. Gorosei members are former gods' knights with powerful devil fruit skills, who most likely use Conqueror's Haki. They are on the Yonko level, God's knights, such as the Gorosei, possess extraordinary talents and are renowned for their strength. Imu must be a powerful force. And there you have it, the terrifying reality behind the Gorosei's creation and the overwhelming power they wield in secret. With ancient bloodlines, monstrous strength, and unwavering loyalty, the five elders are not just rulers. They're Imu's ultimate weapons. If you enjoyed uncovering these secrets with me, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the hidden truths of One Piece. Drop your theories in the comments. Do you think even the Straw Hats will be enough to stand against Imu's Chosen? Until next time, keep seeking the One Piece. Thank you very much for visiting the Mugiwara Review YouTube channel, buddy. We hope you enjoy our review analysis. Don't forget to subscribe and continue joining us on our joyful journey in the world of anime. If you have any wishes, question, or suggestions for our next videos, feel free to express your thoughts on the comments below. Thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again, see you next time, buddy. What is One Piece anime? One Piece is a manga and anime story about a young boy named Monkey D. Luffy who wants to be the king of the pirates in the world. As a child, he eats a devil fruit, a strange plant that makes him able to stretch like rubber. Before the show starts, Luffy goes out into the world for the first time and starts to gather a group of pirates. The main group grows over time, but it starts with Luffy, Nami the Navigator, and a swordsman named Roronoa Zoro. At some point, Luffy and his friends are known as the Straw Hat Pirates, and they go on many exciting adventures across the ocean. One Piece is a lot of fun because it's silly. Luffy goes from island to island around the world in the series. Each island has its own setting and theme. It's a pretty fantastical world full of animals that look like people, live skeletons, and other delightfully strange things. Within moments, the group is in a winter scene, and the next, they are on a tropical island full of giants. The show is full of silly and bright details. For example, Zoro holds a sword in his mouth, a scary military boss wears a cute bulldog hat, and people don't use phones to talk to each other instead. They use special transponder snails that can send and receive messages. Luffy is a carefree person who just wants to eat a tasty meal and laugh at bad jokes. Even though there are some funny parts in the series, a lot of One Piece is about freedom. During his travels, Luffy often takes up guns to help his friends and encourages others to do the same against pirates and government-backed military occupations. The characters in Luffy and his crew get stronger with each fight, which is typical for shonen manga. A lot of the story is about how Luffy beats a problem that seemed impossible to solve and finds some kind of secret power. After each fight, Luffy and his team get stronger and move closer to his main goal, which is to find the One Piece. Why is it called One Piece? The first part of both the manga and the anime shows that Pirate King Ghoul D. Roger is telling the truth about the mythical wealth called the One Piece. One Piece is the name of the show, because Luffy wants to find the One Piece and become the next Pirate King. One of Luffy's main goals in the show is mentioned in the show's title. What is the One Piece? The answer to this question is still one of the biggest secrets in the series. It's been more than 1,000 episodes, and we still don't know what One Piece is. We know that the One Piece is the name of the treasure that Ghoul D. Roger collected on his travels because of details in the manga. We still don't know a lot about the treasure, though. There are a lot of ideas from fans about what the One Piece is, but we still don't know what it is or even if it's real. The One Piece could just be the friends Luffy makes along the way.